Hello again and welcome. Today's video is going to be the second in the series of my guide to eccentric goblet turning. And I'll stress and reiterate again, it is not a definitive guide, it is just my technique, the way I do it, and hopefully it'll give you some ideas to go away and practice and develop your own way of doing it. Before we go over to the lathe, I'd like to give a mention to Alan Stratton of Aswood Turns and Carl Jacobson. They are both hosting and organising and judging this year's Christmas Ornament Challenge yet again. Great event. So if you haven't got your entries in yet, the date of last entry is the 31st of November, so you haven't got long. So if you go across to their channels, and I'll put links down below in the description, then the details of how to enter will be there. So that's the Christmas Ornament Challenge. Today, as I say, is the second in the series of eccentric goblet turning, and what I'm going to do today is to go through the different design elements, if you like, that you can achieve with the knuckles, as I call them, with the offset turning. Again, it just gives you an idea to go away and experiment. We'll be doing it on a Coventry style goblet again, without the bowl, because that's easier to show you and quicker to demonstrate, and then next week, or the next video I should say, we'll go into more detail of the aesthetics, balance and the final goblet. Okay, we'll go over to the lathe and get started. We've got a piece of scrap wood here. There's a couple of knots in it, but we should be able to get around that, no problem. So again, as I say, I'm not going to be turning a bowl at this stage. We're just going to turn what will be a stem here, and notice here I've got it marked on the first jaw again, so when I put it back onto central axis, that it will be in the same spot. Okay, so we'll turn the stem, just using a parting tool. Okay, so this will be the stem, the bowl would come out here. So last week we did a straight going to the stem, like so. Get rid of that. And that would then give the shape of the top of it. Now, if you wanted to keep a straight top to the knuckle, i.e. at right angles to this, again, we're not worried about finish on this at all, it's purely technique, just with a little bit of fuzzies there. Okay, so now we're going to go off centre. And what we would do there, for example, and don't be afraid we're abrasive, to refine that knuckle, you just want to do a bit of hand sanding, just to soften that and blend it in. And this is just very, very quickly, just to show you the idea. Okay, now, and let's forget the fuzzies. You can take those off because you're on the same axis. Just take those fuzzies off here just for demonstration purposes. So we've got that sort of double step, yeah. So now you can put your stem in. Now there's your second stem. Now, I would like to just tidy that up a little bit, so I'll take the skew chisel, which is my preferred method, and then I will come down here and make that blend in to the stem. Nice easy cuts. And you can see there you've got a nice progression, if you like, call it what you will, blending into the stem. So that's one way of doing it. You see, if you look here, if you go back on the central axis, you can refine this, but yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so we're back on this axis now, so we could refine that, but bearing in mind you've only got that stem for support, so maybe not a good idea, but you could refine it very slightly with a skew chisel. Okay, and as I say, that part here, don't be concerned about that, because that will abrade up, but this is a very loose grained wood anyway. So okay, let's go to the next knuckle and see what we come up with there. Now let's see what happens when we put that off centre. Okay, so that gives you an idea of the different ways that you can approach it. We've got the two off centres here, and that's the central axis. So now, for example, I mean, you can refine that, sand it, do what you like, but that gives you an idea of what you can get. Now we'll take another piece of wood and do something a little different. Okay, one of my favourites is the following. Okay, take it off axis. Okay, what I've done here, actually I've offset it a little bit too much, but you get the idea. And then if you offset it a little bit less than that, then I would have been able to have got the it's not far out, but it's a little bit thicker down here, and if we go any lower, obviously we're going to run out of wood. So now you put it back on axis again. But I think you get the idea. No knuckles as such, it's just offsetting the stem. So if we do, let's say, one more, bearing in mind the bowl is up here, and because the offset is less, you see, you can actually go in and go only half of the diameter of the previous one. And then literally you can either do the stem, the base from here. Say you've got your bowl here, or you can either have it offset, the base, or have the base turned off centre, off the centre line. Yeah, I quite like them actually. And then, as I say, with abrasive, you could just blend that in a bit, or so you're not working with a lot of wood there, you see. So you can blend it in as you wish, and then make the final adjustments as you wish. I hope you found that of some interest. I will state categorically again, nothing I did today is set in stone. I wasn't after finish, I wasn't after aesthetics, I was after just giving you the options of making different shapes with the off-centre turning, just for you to go away and have a practice and mess around with. There are many other designs that you could incorporate in, but I think you get the idea, and that was the whole idea behind this video, was just to get you started and to let you develop your own skills and your own experiment. In the next video I will go through the different ways of holding the piece to get different designs, and the possibilities are really endless. It's limited only by your imagination and the time you want to experiment with it. Well, thank you very much indeed for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers now.